Welcome to Woofs Whispers, your favorite doggy podcast. Okay, let's unpack this. Bringing a new puppy home is, well, it's one of life's true joys, isn't it? That tiny bundle of fluff, those clumsy little paws, the whimpers and excited yips. I mean, it's just incredibly exciting, almost intoxicating, really. You've brought this innocent, brand new soul into your home, and with that huge joy, often comes this tidal wave of questions. But this is especially true, I think, for first-time owners. They might feel like they're navigating a completely new universe. But, even if you're a seasoned pet parent, every single pup is an individual. They bring their own quirks, their own needs, which means there's always something new to consider. And one of the biggest, most consistently asked questions we hear, and definitely one that sparks a lot of discussion, is this. How do we best introduce our new furry family members to the big, wide world? More specifically, when is it really safe for them to meet other dogs or explore public spaces and just begin to understand their place in our bustling human lives? It's such a huge moment, full of anticipation for any new puppy owner. But yeah, it's also fraught with a lot of uncertainty. You want to give them everything, but you also desperately want to protect them. So this deep dive is really tailor-made for anyone who's ever pondered those crucial first steps in a puppy's life. Our mission today is to pull out the most important insights, explore the critical considerations, the best practices, all for creating safe, positive, and truly impactful early socialization experiences for your puppy.
And what's fascinating here really is that we're talking about more than just, a phase. We're delving into a truly critical, almost magical window of time in a puppy's life. This period, it lays the absolute groundwork, the very foundation for their entire future. Understanding this specific developmental stage isn't just paramount for their immediate well-being, keeping them safe right now. It's actually about profoundly shaping them into well-adjusted, confident, resilient adult dogs capable of thriving in our pretty complex world. So yeah, we'll be looking at that foundational advice on how to expertly balance that innate, powerful need puppies have to explore and learn with the absolute non-negotiable necessity of prioritizing their health and safety. It's a delicate dance, like you said, but when you get this dance right, with knowledge and care, it yields immense lifelong rewards for both you and your canine companion.
Yeah, that makes sense. And as I was diving into this, one aspect of early socialization really stood out. It's far broader than just what most people imagine, right? We often hear socialization and immediately think, okay, meeting other dogs at the park. That's the picture. But here's where it gets really interesting. For a puppy, it's so much more comprehensive. It's about their entire understanding of the world around them, not just their canine peers. We're talking about a curated, positive, and controlled exposure to a vast array of new things. Sights, sounds, textures, smells, experiences. It's about building their confidence, helping them learn how to appropriately, calmly interact with everything. From different types of people, kids, adults, people wearing hats, carrying umbrellas, you name it, to other animals, strange objects like vacuum cleaners or bicycles maybe, and even different environments. Think about the slippery floors at the vet clinic or the noise of a busy street. It's truly about shaping their perception of reality, isn't it? So that new things aren't automatically seen as scary or overwhelming or a threat, but rather as, interesting or maybe just neutral or ideally even positive.
Precisely. And the reason this is so incredibly crucial, it really comes down to timing, which I know is a common point of anxiety for new owners. We're not talking about some vague time frame here. There's a very specific and actually relatively short critical period for socialization. This typically falls somewhere between about 8 to 12 weeks of age, give or take a little.
Only 8 to 12 weeks. Wow, that's tight.
It is tight. Now, why is this particular window so monumentally important for canine development? Well, it's rooted deeply in their neurobiology. During this period, a puppy's brain is undergoing peak neuroplasticity. Think of it like road construction in the brain. New neural connections are literally forming at an astonishing rate, making them exceptionally receptive to everything happening around them, their environmental inputs.
So like their primary school years crunched into a month.
Exactly. Condensed into just a few weeks of really rapid brain development. It's literally easier for their brains to wire in positive associations and coping mechanisms during this window than at any other time in their lives. After about 12 weeks, learning definitely continues, of course, but that window of opportunity for effortless, foundational learning starts to narrow, and unlearning negative associations or overcoming deeply ingrained fears, that becomes significantly harder, often needs specialized help. During this brief but incredibly intense phase, puppies are like, well, highly absorbent sponges. That's the classic analogy, but it's true. They're soaking up an astonishing amount of information about their environment, about every person they meet, and critically about other animals. Every interaction, positive or negative, every new sound, every novel scent, it gets logged and processed. It contributes to their understanding of what's normal, what's safe, what might be threatening. It literally shapes their worldview.
Okay, so the long-term impact must be huge then.
Oh, it's profound. Truly profound. Systematically exposing puppies to a diverse yet controlled range of stimuli, all those sights, sounds, experiences, interactions during this formative time. It sets the unwavering foundation for healthy behaviors and positive interactions throughout their entire adult lives. A puppy that has positive, controlled exposure early on is far more likely to grow into a confident, adaptable, and emotionally resilient adult dog. Less prone to fear, less prone to anxiety, less prone to aggression when faced with new situations, new people, or other dogs.
And the flip side, if they don't get that positive exposure.
Well, conversely, and this is a crucial warning for new owners, a lack of appropriate positive socialization during this precise window can lead to lifelong challenges. We've seen countless cases, sadly, of adult dogs struggling with crippling fears or aggressions simply because they weren't adequately or correctly socialized as puppies.
That sounds like building their vocabulary, but for emotions and behavior.
That's a great way to put it. Think about it like building the emotional and behavioral vocabulary for your puppy. The more varied and positive words they learn now, the more articulate, confident, and harmonious they'll be in navigating the complexities of their world and your world later on. It's not just about meeting other dogs, it's about building a robust, resilient, emotional toolkit for life.
Right. That point about the critical window being so short, only a few weeks, really underscores the urgency, doesn't it? But I can imagine some owners feeling, well, overwhelmed by that pressure. Or maybe even thinking, oh no, my puppy is 14 weeks already. Have I missed this crucial window entirely? What's your advice for someone who might be past that 8-12 week mark? Or for those just starting out, ready to venture out with that little bundle of joy? Because every new puppy owner feels that pull. The desire to show off their adorable new family member, let them explore, meet every friendly face and wagging tail they see. There's this natural tension, isn't there, between that eagerness to expose your puppy and the absolute undeniable need for caution. You want them to have all those crucial early experiences, but you also want to protect them from potential harm. It's like sending your kid to school for the first time. You're excited for them to learn, but also worried about them catching a cold, or maybe worse, having a really bad experience. How do we navigate that initial, often anxiety-inducing phase without sacrificing either their development or their safety?
Yeah, this is precisely where we need to be very strategic. And it fundamentally boils down to understanding a few key interconnected factors that every owner must consider with unwavering attention. The vital role of the owner here, it just cannot be overstated. You are your puppy's primary protector, their first teacher, their most important guide through these incredibly crucial early weeks. First, and maybe most critically, is vaccination status, your puppy's first line of defense. Puppy vaccinations aren't just a routine vet visit you tick off a checklist. They are a strategic, multi-layered shield, specifically designed to protect your developing puppy against common, often severe, and potentially fatal infectious diseases. We're talking about really devastating conditions like canine parvovirus, distemper, and adenovirus.
Yeah, let's break those down a bit. Parvo, distemper. It sounds serious.
They are extremely serious. Canine parvovirus, or parvo as it's terrifyingly known among vets and owners, well, it isn't just a stomach bug. It's an aggressive, highly contagious viral assault that literally destroys a puppy's intestinal lining. This leads to such rapid and severe dehydration, often with bloody vomiting and diarrhea, that without immediate, intensive, and incredibly costly vet care.
Costly how?
We're talking easily into thousands of dollars for hospitalization, IV fluids, medications, and even then it can be fatal in just a matter of days. Even with top-notch treatment, the survival rate for puppies can be alarmingly low. So it's not just about avoiding illness, it's avoiding a heartbreaking and potentially bankrupting crisis.
Wow, okay. And distemper.
Distemper, that's a multisystemic viral disease. It affects a dog's respiratory system, their gastrointestinal system, and critically, their nervous system. It can show up as coughing, fever, vomiting, diarrhea, seizures, even paralysis. Distemper can be deadly or cause permanent neurological damage, leaving survivors with lasting uretics or tremors.
That sounds awful.
It is. And finally, adenovirus. This often leads to infectious canine hepatitis, and it specifically targets the liver, kidneys, and eyes. Symptoms can include lethargy, fever, vomiting, and sometimes even a distinctive clouding of the cornea, giving the eye a bluish look, That's why it's sometimes called blue eye disease.
So these aren't minor things at all.
Not even close. They are serious, pervasive threats that an unvaccinated puppy with their still developing immune system is highly, highly susceptible to.
So the vaccine schedule is key then. How does that typically work?
Exactly. The typical vaccination schedule is meticulously set up to build immunity gradually, like constructing a strong fortress, brick by brick. The first round is usually given when they are around 6 to 8 weeks old. This initial shot helps to kickstart their immune response, basically introducing their body to the invader safely. Then they'll get their second vaccination about 3 to 4 weeks later. This second dose is absolutely crucial. It boosts that initial immunity, strengthens the fortress walls, ensuring more robust, long-lasting protection. And finally, to maintain that immunity long-term, your pup will typically need a booster vaccine at either 6 months or 12 months of age. Your vet will advise on the specifics for your dog. It is paramount, almost a sacred duty really, to stick to this precise schedule. Like I said, this isn't just a checklist. It's a strategic shield for your puppy's developing immune system, building up their defenses so they can safely navigate the world.
That makes the risk of disease transmission much clearer.
Yeah.
If they don't have that shield up yet.
Precisely. Which leads directly to the second crucial factor, the often underestimated risk of disease transmission. Unvaccinated puppies are, by definition, operating without that protective shield. They are highly susceptible to these infectious diseases. Their immune systems are still developing. They lack the full protection. This means exposure to unvaccinated dogs, or even just public spaces where infected dogs might have been recently, poses a very real, very severe, and often invisible risk.
Inveritable risk.
Yeah, that's the scary part. The stark reality is that before full vaccination, the outside world, particularly high-traffic dog areas, is not a very safe environment for an unvaccinated puppy. So what does this mean for those common outings every new owner dreams of? Well, places like dog parks, generally off limits. They're high-traffic areas for dogs of varying, often unknown vaccination statuses, basically petri dishes for canine diseases.
Right, okay. Jog parks are out initially. What about pet stores?
Pet stores can also be risky unless they have very strict enforced vaccination requirements for all animals entering, and not all do. And here's the kicker that often surprises owners. Even casual walks on public sidewalks, especially grassy verges or common sniffing spots, before vaccinations are complete can be hazardous.
Really? Just the sidewalk?
Yes, because highly virulent viruses, like parvovirus, can survive on surfaces, in soil, or on grass for extended periods, sometimes weeks or even months, despite weather conditions. These are invisible threats. You might not see the sick dog, but the virus could be lingering there waiting. A silent predator.
Okay, that's so health first, absolutely. But what about the behavioral side? You mentioned negative experiences earlier.
Right. We can't forget the third critical factor, behavioral issues. Balancing experience with protection. We just talked about how carefully planned early socialization can profoundly help prevent behavioral problems, later fear-based aggression, general anxiety, aversion to new things. It builds confidence, adaptability. However, and this is the crucial caveat that often gets overlooked in the eagerness to socialize, negative experiences during this critical early period can also contribute directly to fear or aggression towards other dogs, people, or new environments.
What counts as a negative experience for a puppy might be different than for an adult dog.
Absolutely. A single traumatic event, even something that seems minor or easily shrugged off by us or an adult dog, can leave a lasting, profoundly negative impression on a young puppy's developing psyche. For example, being aggressively jumped on or overwhelmed by an overly boisterous adult dog in a park, that can create a lasting fear of other dogs. Or being accidentally nipped in a rough play session, or even just being startled by a loud noise, a truck backfiring, a skateboard rolling by while interacting with another dog. They can link that fear to other dogs. Or simply being overwhelmed by too many stimuli at once in a new chaotic place, a crowded park, a bustling street, can lead to intense stress and negative associations with those environments. A puppy's brain is incredibly impressionable during this window, and those early negative lessons, they can be extraordinarily hard to unlearn, sometimes needing years of dedicated training and behavior modification.
Wow, so it really is a delicate, high-stakes balance, isn't it?
It really is. You desperately want them to learn, to grow, to experience the world, but you have to meticulously protect them from learning the wrong lessons. Lessons of fear, insecurity, reactivity that can define their reactions and limit their joy for years.
That tension, that delicate balance, that truly is the heart of the challenge. Okay. We understand the why now, the critical window, the devastating disease risks, the potential for negative experiences to shape a lifetime. It sounds like a tightrope walk, but the good news is there are clear, actionable steps. Okay, let's unpack this then.
Yeah.
How do we actually translate all this crucial knowledge into safe, enriching experiences? Because the core principle remains. Exposing your puppy to other dogs, to new sights and sounds, is undeniably good, essential even, but it must be done in a controlled, intentional, and overwhelmingly positive environment. This isn't about avoiding interaction altogether, right? It's about curating those interactions to be, well, nothing short of stellar.
Exactly. And there are specific practical strategies that, when you implement them mindfully, can help you navigate this critical period effectively. Ensuring those positive experiences outweigh potential risks, giving your puppy the best possible start. First, and often our top recommendation, are puppy socialization classes or dedicated puppy school programs.
Puppy school. Yeah.
These are gold mines, really, specifically designed to be safe, highly supervised environments for young pups. The key benefits here are multifaceted, truly invaluable. You have qualified trainers or instructors present who are experts in canine behavior, and they're actively there to facilitate positive interactions. They guide the puppies through appropriate play, they teach owners how to understand canine body language, and crucially, they intervene immediately to prevent any negative experiences from escalating.
That intervention part sounds key.
It's vital, because even a brief, intense negative interaction can leave a lasting impression. Furthermore, the interactions are typically with other young pups who are often at a similar developmental stage and, just as importantly, are also going through their vaccination series. This means they collectively pose a significantly lower risk of disease transmission compared to the general dog population you might encounter in a public park. A good puppy class will focus on positive reinforcement, very short, structured play sessions, and gentle exposure to various stimuli, different surfaces, sounds, maybe even friendly, calm adult dogs sometimes. It creates a fun, low-stress, deeply educational environment. They learn how to dog in a secure bubble, basically.
Okay, puppy classes sound great. What else? What if classes aren't available or don't fit the schedule?
Good question. Next, consider thoughtfully curated playdates. This strategy allows for highly controlled social interactions outside a formal class, giving you even more direct oversight. The criteria for ideal playmates are simple but absolutely vital. They must be friendly, have a calm and gentle demeanor, and, most importantly, be fully vaccinated and consistently healthy.
So only dogs you really know and trust.
Exactly. The emphasis here is on trust. It's non-negotiable. Arrange playdates exclusively with dogs owned by friends, family members, or neighbors whom you know well, and whose dogs you've observed extensively. You need to be unequivocally confident in their dog's temperament. Gentle, good social manners, not overly boisterous or prone to aggressive play. And you need to trust implicitly that their dog's health history, including vaccination status, is impeccable and up to date.
How should those playdates be structured?
Keep them intentionally short, highly supervised, and laser-focused on creating overwhelmingly positive experiences. A few minutes of gentle, calm interaction is profoundly more beneficial for a young puppy's brain than an hour of overwhelming, unsupervised, or chaotic play. Always aim to end on a high note. Leave the puppy wanting more, rather than overstimulated, stressed, or frightened. Think quality over quantity, always.
Quality over quantity. Got it. What about using things around the house?
Yes, another excellent, often overlooked strategy involves utilizing controlled environments with physical barriers. This is particularly useful in the very early stages, especially before a puppy is fully vaccinated, or if you're introducing them to an unfamiliar dog. The smart use of physical barriers, sturdy baby gates, tall exercise pens, even glass doors can create a safe, low-pressure space for initial interactions.
How would that work?
Well, for example, you might allow puppies to see and smell each other through a baby gate without direct physical contact initially. This brilliantly reduces the overwhelming stimuli that direct physical interaction can sometimes present. It allows them to get used to each other's presence, scent, sounds from a safe distance. Builds curiosity, not fear.
Ah, so good for introducing a new puppy to a resident dog, too.
Fantastic for that. Allows them to acclimate to each other's existence and subtle cues before a more direct, supervised meeting. It's about building comfort and familiarity from a distance first.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now, what about the big one, off-leash activities?
Yeah.
Dog parks, trails, when is that okay?
Right, the final strategy, off-leash activities, but with very important non-negotiable conditions. This truly represents an advanced stage of socialization. It's a privilege earned, not a right, you could say. The absolute prerequisite here. Your puppy must be fully vaccinated and have completed their entire age-appropriate vaccination series as confirmed by your veterinarian. Only then can you even begin to consider it.
So full vaccination is the entry ticket.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
even then, there are crucial caveats demanding constant vigilance. You need to intimately know your pup's individual temperament and social cues. Are they naturally confident, easily overwhelmed? Can they read other dogs' body language accurately? Do they know how to disengage from play when it gets too rough? These are questions you need answers to.
Right.
You also need to be absolutely confident in your ability to get them back on their lead when needed. A reliable instant recall is non-negotiable for safety.
Recall is key.
It's non-negotiable. This isn't a free-for-all. It's an advanced stage requiring a deep understanding of your own puppy, the specific environment, and keen awareness of the other dogs present. Sadly, dog parks can be a mixed bag, can't they? Not all owners supervise properly. Not all dogs are well socialized themselves.
Yeah, I see.
So you must constantly observe interactions. Be prepared to intervene immediately if you see any signs of stress, fear, or inappropriate behavior from any dog involved.
What kind of signs should owners look for?
Things like whale eye when you see the whites of their eyes, lip licking when not thirsty, excessive sniffing of another dog's rear end, which can be intimidating, freezing, stiff body posture, trying to hide behind your legs. These are all signals of discomfort. If play becomes too rough, if one dog is constantly being chased or pinned, if there's any sign of resource guarding over toys or space, you must step in. Your primary job is to prevent any negative experiences for your pup, even if it means leaving the park early. Remember, one bad interaction can undo weeks of positive socialization work.
That's such crucial advice, especially the details on body language and the potential pitfalls of off-leash areas. It really highlights how much vigilance and knowledge is required from us as owners. Sometimes, though, despite all this fantastic information, despite the best intentions, you just need a guiding hand, right? Because every puppy truly is unique. They have their own blossoming personalities, their own responses to things. What works perfectly for one might not be ideal for another. General advice, while incredibly valuable, often needs careful tailoring to your specific situation, your specific puppy. It can feel a bit overwhelming, trying to be the perfect guide, especially with so many variables: health, emotions, behavior. What if your puppy is unusually shy, or maybe seems too confident and gets into trouble?
Absolutely. And this is precisely where professional consultation becomes not just helpful, but truly essential sometimes. There are very specific scenarios where seeking expert guidance is paramount. When you're genuinely unsure about the safety of introductions, how to navigate public places safely, or when you notice concerning behavioral patterns emerging, please don't hesitate to reach out. It's a real investment in your puppy's future happiness and well-being.
So who should people turn to?
There are several types of highly qualified professionals who can provide invaluable, personalized guidance. First, your veterinarian. Your vet is your primary, irreplaceable source for anything related to your puppy's physical health. They provide precise individual vaccination advice, confirm exactly when your puppies are protected, offer general care guidance aligned with their health and breed. They have the comprehensive view of your puppy's physical development and can flag any health issues impacting socialization. Always, always consult your vet about the vaccination schedule, health history, and when it's truly safe to venture out. They're your gatekeepers to healthy exploration.
Okay, vet first for health. Who next for behavior?
Second, a certified dog trainer. These professionals specialize in behavioral guidance and practical, hands-on socialization techniques. They can teach you how to understand subtle canine body language, facilitate positive interactions, offer solutions for common puppy behaviors like nipping or leash manners. A certified trainer can assess your puppy's temperament, recommend good socialization classes, or work with you individually to build confidence. They might use techniques like preat and retreat or guide gentle interruption of over-arousal. They provide the practical tools.
And if the issues seem more complex,
Third, for more complex or emerging behavioral issues, significant fear, aggression, anxiety, you might need to consult a dog behaviorist. These are highly specialized professionals, often with advanced degrees in animal behavior. They focus on understanding and modifying behavior at a deeper level. If your puppy shows behaviors beyond typical trainer scope, unusually shy, fear-reactive, freezing, growling, lunging, significant separation anxiety, a behaviorist delves into the root cause. They provide comprehensive assessment, identify triggers, develop tailored behavior modification plans, often using sophisticated protocols like desensitization and counter-conditioning. essential for reshaping deep emotional responses.
So different experts for different levels of need.
Exactly. And the value of their guidance is huge. It's precisely tailored to your puppy's specific needs, vaccination status, personality. It offers peace of mind and informed decision-making. During any consultation, never be afraid to ask every single question you have, no matter how small or silly it seems. These experts are there to empower you to give your puppy the absolute best start.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you and your new puppy? Bringing a new furry friend home is, well, it's an exciting, often overwhelming, but ultimately incredibly rewarding journey, filled with countless firsts. Their first time on grass, that first curious sniff of another friendly dog, the first joyful romp in a safe space. We've talked today about that critical developmental window, the life-saving role of vaccinations, the serious risks of disease if we're not careful. We've also explored wonderful, actionable ways to create those crucial positive experiences, puppy classes, curated playdates, and carefully managed off-leash time when appropriate. The core message from our deep dive remains clear, simple, and powerful. Abundant opportunities for positive socialization exist, but it always comes back to prioritizing your puppy's health and safety, especially early on and in public areas. With careful planning, consistent vigilance, and seeking expert help when needed, you can absolutely ensure your new puppy has the most incredible, confident, joyful start possible, building a rock-solid foundation for life.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it becomes really clear that these early mindful choices about socialization aren't just about preventing problems or avoiding illness. They're about actively sculpting the bond you will share with your dog for their entire life. Every controlled, positive exposure, every gentle interaction you facilitate, every time you choose caution over convenience. You are profoundly influencing their confidence, their capacity for joy, their ability to navigate your human world alongside you with ease and grace. Think about the kind of companion you truly want for the next 10, 15 years or more. A resilient, happy, calm, adaptable dog who enjoys life fully, who can confidently greet new people, walk past noisy things, politely interact with other dogs without fear or aggression. What kind of world are you helping them build, brick by precious work, in those first few weeks? Your intentional choices now are the very bedrock of that future relationship, shaping not just their behavior, but the very essence of their personality. So continue to observe your puppy, learn their subtle cues, and celebrate every small, confident step in their incredible journey of discovery with you.
Thanks for listening. We will see you next time on Woofs and Whispers with more doggy tips.